Good morning. I'll call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. All three commissioners are present. And Commissioner Gross will lead us in the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I move that we approve the minutes of August 5th, 2013.
I will second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, changes? Call for the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved. We have one public comment. Andy Skinner.
Thank you for letting me here. I'm Andy Skinner with the Lewis County Historical Museum, Interim Director. And I just wanted to say we had our pancake breakfast for the planes, trains, and automobiles. And excuse me for not getting in a little earlier, but we just wanted to say thank you so much for coming down and helping us cook the pancakes and the sausage and eggs and everything. It turned out quite well. We really appreciate you guys' support. Last year we made about $900 out of the event. This year we almost doubled it at about $1,700, so it was quite successful. We just wanted to say thank you for your help, and we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you.
Welcome and thank you. That's a good report.
I've got to give credit where credit was due. Lee was flipping the pancakes because I failed after the second attempt, and they moved me over greeting people. So, Lee, thanks for flipping the pancakes.
He did what he was best at, and I did what I was best at. That's what I could say. Mr. Chairman, we have employee recognition next.
I'd like to move that we approve the employee recognition for Detective Jeff Humphrey and Deputy Brian Lauer.
We don't really need to do that, but I'll second it.
Okay. And this is what we have about Detective Jeff Humphrey and Deputy Brian Lauer. Operation Big Bottom Bust. Over the past several months, Detective Jeff Humphrey and Deputy Brian Lauer conducted an intense multiple suspect drug investigation in eastern Lewis County. It started when Deputy Lauer stopped an individual for a traffic violation. Through Deputy Lauer's investigation and interview, the individual decided to work with Deputy Lauer and Detective Humphrey to buy meth from known drug dealers in the East End. During their investigation, a total of 14 buys were made with multiple suspects. On June 7th, personnel from Lewis County Sheriff's Office, Chehalis Police, Morton Police, Department of Corrections, and Pacific County Task Force conducted a raid at 5 residences where 11 people were arrested. This operation was a huge success, largely due to the foundation work done by Detective Humphrey and Deputy Lauer. Detective Humphrey was quick to point out that they had assistance from others and that this investigation was a team effort. By their actions, they both met the mission of the Sheriff's Office by making our community a safer place to live by getting these individuals off the street. Please come forward.
Thank you and congratulations. Thank you. Thank you and congratulations. Thank you very much. Sheriff, would you like to say a few words?
I just want to thank you for recognizing these deputies. I know they each had a speech planned. Didn't you have a speech, Jeff? No, but they've done a great job, and we continue to do really fine work in this community, and your support, both financially and like this, helps us tremendously in us being able to complete our mission and do the things we need to do to make this a better place to live, to work, to go to school, and to raise our families. So thank you, and thank the both of you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the notice agenda. There are two items, resolution number 13-440 and 13-441.
Second?
Motion has been made and seconded. Lee Napier.
Good morning. Lee Napier, Director of Community Development, speaking on notice item number 1, resolution 13-440. And before the board is a request to consider and pass the resolution that would set the hearing date, to consider draft ordinance 1245, which would amend Lewis County Code 15-35, the flood damage prevention ordinance. So this draft code reflects language and suggestions by FEMA Region 10 from their community assistance visit, which the community assistance visit was back in 2011, but we didn't receive their comments until 2012, and once it went through the public process with the Planning Commission, we had some great workshops, some good public meetings, and some good public input. So it took us a while to get through the process, but we have a draft ordinance before you with the recommendation of the Planning Commission, and we just ask that you set a hearing date.
Is there a process by which, if folks cannot attend that hearing, that they could submit comments?
Yes, and there'll be a public notice that'll go out that will direct people to where they can get a copy of the ordinance, how they can submit comments, which can be either in written form to the Board of County Commissioners, or they may show up on September 9th and provide public testimony here. That's reflected in the public notice, and also the resolution was revised to state that the commissioners will take public testimony or written comments prior to that date.
Thank you.
Lee, and I noticed, and this is not the time for this, but I'll make this comment now. We've included in this ordinance some premium examples. I don't know how clear we need to make that those are just examples. I don't know if we want to include that in the ordinance. I don't remember it being in the ordinance in the past.
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning part of
the premium examples on page 2 of LLC Title 1535. You got premium example, insurance premium examples for 1, 2, and 3 foot of freeboard.
In the ordinance or the staff report?
It's in the code. It's in the code amendment. Page 2 of the code amendment.
Page 2 of 9?
Yes.
That is, yes, so that is what the Planning Commission, that reflects the staff report from the Planning Commission. So that's not meant to be part of the ordinance. It's meant to let you know and the public know what informed the ordinance.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Lee.
Okay, thank you.
Tim Elsey.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Elsey, Public Works Director, speaking to item number 2 on your notice agenda. And this is a notice of hearing regarding a non-exclusive franchise to Glenn and Kathleen Hedrick to construct, operate, and maintain water system facilities on Chilvers Road. And this is scheduling the hearing to be held on or after 10 a.m. on September 16, 2013. And as you're aware, the RCWs and Lewis County Code require that any utilities are in the right-of-way by franchise only. This is a service line that has been in Chilvers Road for many years. We found that it has been there without a franchise. We did something very similar to this a few years ago with Renee Raymond, you may remember. And so this is just allowing them to operate the water system in the county right-of-way by franchise, and this will last for a period of 5 years. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on the notice agenda? Call for the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Notice agenda is approved.
I move that we approve the consent agenda, items 3 through 9 on our agenda, numbers 13-442 through 448.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded.
Item number 3, Resolution 13442, is approval of warrants. This week we have 201 regular warrants in the amount of $1,528,884.12 and 2 special purpose warrants in the amount of $111.24 for a total of $1,528,995.36. In addition, there are 225 payroll warrants and 450 automatic deposits dated August 5th, 2013, for a total amount of $3,349,397.29.
The next item is resolution number 13433, item number 4, and it's ratifying Washington County's Insurance Fund Business Associate Agreement. This is the agreement we have with the Washington County's Insurance Fund to provide health insurance for the county. Bill?
Good morning, Bill Wamsley with the Lewis County Weed Board. Here today before you to talk about item number 5, Resolution 13-444. This is a modification, approving a modification to the existing agreement we have with the USDA Forest Service, Gifford Pinchot National Forest for noxious weed treatment. Modification 1 is allowing for additional funding to the project. An award was made last year of $25,000 by the Resource Advisory Committee. That took place in Salcombe in September. And then the Forest Service is adding an additional $6,907 for additional noxious weed control in the forest. So the total amount is $31,907 as part of that modification.
So how are we doing this, Bill? Are we doing it through pulling the weeds, or are we doing it for spraying the weeds? What are we doing to get rid of them?
All the above. So lots of activity as far as spraying, but there are some sites where we are following up and do some hand pulling. But there's been a big shift, and so we do a lot of work with herbicides that the forests have approved for use on the national forest. Thank you.
Good morning, Danette York, Director of Public Health and Social Services. I'm speaking to item number 6, resolution number 13-445, approving contract amendment agreement number 5 with the Division of Behavioral Health and Recovery Services. So this is the contract that we receive in the county from the state DSHS division, DBHR, for chemical dependency treatment of clients. We then subcontract the funds out to local providers who provide the direct service. This contract is a 4-year contract. However, this amendment gives us the funding just for July 1st of 2013 through December 31st of 2013. Typically, they'll send an amendment and provide the funding for a year, which is the state fiscal year. They're only providing 6 months worth at this time because Medicaid expansion takes effect on January 1st, and a great deal of amount of those funds will be cut out at that time, with the assumption being that more clients will be eligible for Medicaid and can receive those same services by charging or billing Medicaid for the service instead of using these grant funds. Any questions?
I have a lot of questions, but I'll pass.
Okay. I will be happy to answer them if you contact me later. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Elsey speaking to item number 7 on your consent agenda, resolution number 13-466, approving the acquisition of additional right-of-way for Swafford Road in Mossy Rock. As you're aware,
446 rather than 466, right?
Oh, 446, excuse me. Thank you. As you're aware, Swafford Road rehabilitation has been on the county's tip for quite a while, and we've been moving forward with right-of-way acquisition. This is a brand new request for right-of-way acquisition. This is for 2 additional parcels. We didn't know that we needed these additional right-of-ways until we got into the construction, engineering, and design portion of it, and we found out that some of our catch lines are going to need additional right-of-way, and this is additional right-of-way for 2 property owners adjacent to the property on the, adjacent to the project on the north end of the project, right at the intersection of Edgeloon Road, I think is how it's pronounced.
On your description, it says authorizes the county to acquire property under the threat of eminent domain.
Yes.
Could you explain why you decided to go that route, or why you have to go that route?
We have to go that route to allow us to negotiate with the property owners, and it puts us into the federal process for acquiring right-of-way. We very, very rarely institute eminent domain on any of these right-of-way acquisitions. This is generally done with just negotiations. We have a right-of-way agent that is well-versed in the federal process, but this allows us to kick in that federal process, and it also allows for smaller parcels, which can be used for right-of-way. In the past, in order to have public facilities, you would have to have those public facilities on a parcel the size zoned in that area. And under eminent domain allows you to just acquire the property that you need, just a sliver of property.
So we're still negotiating with these folks to try to buy the property, all right?
That's correct. We are beginning negotiations. And speaking to number 8, resolution number 13-447, in the matter of proposed acquisition of additional right-of-way for Wiggly Road in Centralia. This is a developer-driven right-of-way acquisition. Winchester Farms Properties, LLC, has applied for a subdivision of property in Thurston County, which requires the use of Wiggly Road, a Lewis County road, for access. It's been determined that subdivision approval will require improvement of Wiggly Road, and Winchester Farms, LLC, has submitted engineering plans for the required road improvements to Lewis County, which will require additional right-of-way. And so Lewis County will go through the process of acquiring the right-of-way, and will be repaid in full by the Winchester Farms, LLC. There are 2 properties that we'll be negotiating with on this one as well. Technology is wonderful, except when it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
So the final item today is resolution number 13-448, approving an interlocal agreement between Lewis County and other agencies and interdepartmental cost-sharing arrangements in regards to pictometry. The resolution that was published has been changed by 1 sentence today, and I'll read that sentence out to you. And basically, but before I get into that, basically this just dictates how pictometry will be paid for. We have interlocal agreements with different cities. We have interlocal agreements with the PUD and Tacoma Power. And so this resolution will allow us to enter into those interlocal agreements, pay for pictometry based on that, and also will allocate internal charges for the pictometry cost as well. On the internal cost, we do have a schedule of fees that was attached to the resolution and published, but I would amend that today, and I'm going to amend the resolution with your permission by 1 sentence, and that sentence would be added onto this whereas, and I'll start with the whereas. Whereas the Public Works Director has drafted a cost-sharing schedule attached that divides Lewis County's portion of pictometry product cost, including the cost for the Public Works Department to administer and maintain the pictometry programs, and this is what was added. And the Fiscal Department has developed a spreadsheet determining the percentages paid by each department, which will govern specific internal cost allocations. So basically what that says is, well, let me back up. Sometimes an architect can design a project that an engineer cannot construct. And sometimes an engineer can develop a payment plan that a fiscal department cannot pay by. And that's what we did here. So the fiscal department went in and they developed percentages paid by each department so that anytime a bill comes in, they will be paid those percentages rather than the direct cost allocations that we previously presented to you. So we're amending this resolution by those percentages and with that sentence.
Point of clarification, this board previously approved pictometry, and this is just an allocation of costs associated with that.
That's correct. Thank you.
Just one other question. On here, you've got it spelled Pictometry. Is that the correct spelling?
That is correct, spelling. Thank you.
Any other discussion on the consent agenda? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Approved.
Mr. Chairman, no seeing no further business, I move we adjourn.
I second it.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? We're adjourned.